No, I'm not banning Ahri, because there's other things that got buffed on this patch that probably deserve my ban more. I get it. But at the same time, if people want to spend that much to play this skin, so be it, because they're the only ones that are really going to get punished with this, not really sending a message to Riot when they probably know, because it's not like y'all have been silent about this whole hashtag ban Ahri thing, and Rioters stay on Twitter. They know, so when they see those numbers, they'll know. Maybe you'll do something. I'm not going to say you guys are doing a fruitless thing, but let's get into the patch notes and you see maybe not necessarily that route to go. I personally also just really don't care. It's punishment enough if you spent 500 for this. But I'm not going to stop you either if you really want it and you got it. So whatever. Basically, don't ban Ahri. Because who cares? It's a cosmetic in a game. One game of many that you probably play. No, you don't. So not this patch, but next patch, just to give you a heads up. It's almost time of the year for Riot's summer break, which will be next patch on 14.13, which will be a 3-week patch. So when we get there at that point, so this patch will last 2 weeks, but the next patch, so like mid to end of June, is actually going to last 3 weeks as they kind of do that vacation where they rotate out different parts of different teams across the 3 weeks for vacation. So keep that in mind. The importance being that if something's really broken on this patch, it's probably going to be broken for a while if it's not changed after this patch. This is the one patch we got. So that's what I mean. If you want to ban Ahri, I'm not going to stop you because, again, I'm pretty neutral. I don't really care. But if something's absolutely insane, that might need your bans more to send that signal for the one patch we got to get it fixed. Because if it doesn't come out in the patch notes for 14.13, it's staying that way for basically almost a full month. That's more the things that I'm concerned about, I'll be honest. But let's go over some of the champion changes. Because while Jinx doesn't have any changes, maybe she did in the Arcane Season 2 trailer. If you haven't seen that, it is out, by the way. Ashe did. The passive damage is actually being decreased. They say Ashe is quite strong right now, thanks to itemization changes that she's not really bound to crit chance. We're nerfing her sustained damage in a way that incentivizes buying crit again and makes her early game all-in less powerful. So the passive Frost Shot is going from 120% plus critical strike chance plus critical strike damage to only 115%. Interesting. So Ashe is someone that kind of can bully in lane. They made a couple changes so you don't just max W and kind of poke people for death, and then if they try and engage on you, you're slowing them with each auto attack, etc. While that's still a thing, that latter one, the earlier one, they did some number of changes on that. I want to say it was last year even, I remember. She's supposed to scale like Jinx, so it's a bit of a problem. Even though it's only 5%, it's 5%. I'll take it, basically. Basically what I'm saying is I'll take it. I'll take it. Give it to me. Fine. I am garbage nowadays, so anything that looks like it could be better for me and worse for my opponent, I'll take it. But in actuality, what this means is, so with the passive, when they're hitting people and it can crit, they're going to actually have to build a bit more crit for it to hit those same numbers. So they can't just go to, okay, this is a hypothetical. They go to lane, and their auto attacks are doing 50 damage. So if they were critting, instead of doing 50 damage, it do 120%. So not 100%, which would just be, 50 to 100. It's even a little extra. So let's say that's the 120, right? The math ain't math in here, but I'm trying to keep this as simplistic as possible in a quick video because y'all have expressed you like shorter videos. So it does 115 damage per shot. Now in the early game, when you only have like 600 health, 115 or 120, that's going to chunk you down. But as the game goes on, let's say, 150, it adds up. That's 5 less damage per auto. And this is a flat number. Well, it's actually supposed to be percentage, mind you. So it's actually is a bit more significant than what I'm saying in this math. I'm saying like the worst case scenario. It's only 5, but if they get 10 autos off on you, that's 50 less damage that they're doing. Blitzcrank's passive health is being decreased and passive shield duration increased. So the shield mana barrier is going from 4 to 10 seconds while the base health is going from 650 to 600. So they probably even out, but it's actually nice because when you go in or you have the shield barrier, it's one of the things about like having Blitzcrank be slowed down after using his W. I don't necessarily hate it, but I also don't like it at the same time. It's weird because if I'm playing with a Blitzcrank, I don't want him to go in, miss a hook, because you're not going to always land a hook. I don't expect my supports to land everything. It's a skill shot, for Pete's sake. Sometimes you're not on it. It happens. So, and then they get slowed, and then they just are super slow trying to run away, that they might even have to pop flash for it. And it would have been a great hook if they hit it, so I'm not even upset that they tried it. But now they're getting super punished. At least maybe the mana barrier, if when it kicks in, can actually, sustain a bit more of that. So we don't feel like, hey, we're supposed to have the aggressive lane, and after one aggressive move, we kind of just lost it. It happens at all elos, I'm telling you right now. If you're laughing like, haha, Iron, don't laugh at Irons. That's not fair to Irons. It happens everywhere. Sometimes you could be literally the top player of a champion and just have a bad day. it's an off day, life happened, and you try to play League anyways, you know what I mean? Like, or sometimes it's just called a skill shot, so you just don't always hit it. But if you're playing against a Blitzcrank, you know, you can still punish them a little bit. It is a mana shield, so it's not like they have a bunch of mana in lane phase. They haven't bought all the support items or tank items that have mana in them. So that's going to be interesting. The 50 less health. Now, Corki, I'll just give an honorable mention because they want to move him back to the bottom lane. They don't mind him being in the mid lane, but they want to move him back to the bottom. So they're making some changes that are actually related to that. So the base attack damage is being changed. Attack speed growth is actually going up. The magic damage is going, it looks like, up. Okay. Instead of 70% AP, 100%. The cooldown, however, is going down. The Gatling gun, I believe it's going up. No, the damage is going down, and the bonus AD is staying the same. But the mana cost and the armor shred cap are also going up. So the mana cost 50, 55, 60, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. The armor shred cap, though, is going from 12, 15, 18, etc., only to 12, 14, 16, which those numbers are going down, but this is the shred cap, meaning that I believe it's the damage that you do when you. I don't play Corki, I'm going to be honest. This is a Jinx channel. So I'm assuming these are actually the damage numbers going down, which is why this is also a nerf. Even though it looks like buff nerf, it's actually nerf. Basically, they want him to use this aggressively, but they don't want it to be so powerful he can just spam E endlessly and just win a lane. Because it also clears minions, so it's like, he just indefinitely push against you, and it would feel kind of bad. Because if he's in the bottom lane, he now also has a support with him. That if they're in a gauge support, that's going to be a nightmare of a bully lane. While they want him back in the bottom lane, they don't necessarily want him to take over the bottom lane the way he takes over mid lane for Worlds. Ezreal, AD growth increase, Q damage increase, and R damage increase. Ezreal, for example, if anything, is one of the champions that would ward one of my bans. Instead of banning Ahri, I'd ban Ezreal. And that's also just because I just suck at playing against Ezreals lately. I don't know what happened. It's like the Space Jam moment. All my skill got sucked out when it comes to fighting Ezreal specifically. So be it. Attack damage growth is going up. The Mystic Shot damage is going up. The True Shot barrage is going up. Basically, if you're Jinx in this matchup, dodge, because they are skill shots. He does have to hit most of what he does. So use the minion wave to block things. The True Shot barrage can go through minion waves, but if you can hear the wind up, just get moving completely sideways. That's why I try and tell people when they're newer to the game, never stay still. Always be moving, right? Like, that's why League players have carpal tunnel. You're always supposed to be moving. You're never supposed to be staying still at any given moment. So part of it is that you're already in motion. When something's coming, you might be already coming out of the way. Because they might have fired it based off of vision they had on you briefly, and now because you move, they have to try and predict where you are instead of knowing exactly where you are because you're standing still. When you combine that with some bug fixes, and the immortalized legend Ahri, risen legend Ahri, risen legend LeBlanc, and Custalis Indomitus Zeref. I botched that name on purpose, so you can sound cooler saying it better. And you have yourself a completed patch notes for patch 14.12 of League of Legends. Everything else in these patch notes do not matter. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. ggGetJinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy Ahri responsibly. Yeah, it's like that.